In the late summer of 2023, we realized that we both had a week of vacation that had to be used by the end of the year. Mexico, California, the beach in the Caribbean, Greece, Italy. None of these felt right. Then Scotland came to mind. Although I was born in southern England, just a few hundred miles from the Scottish border, I had never visited in the 29 years that I lived there.
I have always wanted to visit Edinburgh and the Highlands. We both thought this was the perfect opportunity. Although our time there would be brief, we were determined to make the most of it.
Arrived in Edinburgh about 2 hours ago. First thing we came across, these guys.
Beautiful.
Located about 2 miles outside of Falkirk, the Kelpies are a monument to Scotland's horse-powered industrial heritage and are the largest equine sculpture in the world. But what is a Kelpie? A Kelpie is a shape-changing aquatic spirit of Scottish legend. They are said to hold rivers and streams, usually in the shape of a horse. The Kelpie may appear as a tame pony beside a river. But these are malevolent spirits, particularly attractive to children. But they should take care, for once on its back, its sticky magical hide would not allow them to dismount. Once trapped, the Kelpie would drag the child into the river and then eat them. From here, we took the short drive to the Falkirk Wheel, a rotating boat lift in Tam Hill near Falkirk. Opened in 2002 as part of the Millennium Link project, the wheel reconnects the Forth and Clyde canals with the Union Canal for the first time since the 1930s. The wheel raises boats by 79 feet, but the Union Canal is still 36 feet higher than the aqueduct which meets the wheel. Boats must also pass through a pair of locks between the top of the wheel and the Union Canal. The Falkirk Wheel is the only rotating boat lift of its kind in the world, and one of 2 working boat lifts in the United Kingdom, the other being the Anderton boat lift. An amazing project which we cannot do justice to in our recordings, just incredible to see.
It was then time to move on to our first venture into the filming locations of the TV series Outlander. Yes, a secret obsession of mine that my husband was kind to entertain. Midhope Castle, otherwise known as Lollybroch in Outlander, a 15th century tower house situated in the hamlet of Abercorn on the Hope Town estate. It featured as the beloved family home of the series' main character, Jamie Fraser. This former family home, nestled in the woods north of Linlithgow, is now semi-derelict and was relatively unknown until being chosen as a location for the series. On your way down the small road that leads to the castle, be careful of the many pheasants that lead the way. A beautiful place to spend an hour in this idyllic, mysterious setting. So beautiful, in fact, that we came back in better weather a few days later. Here we are again at Midhope Castle on a less snowy day. We just couldn't miss out on stopping to see this place one more time. Probably my favorite place that we visited since we've been here. It's just a really peaceful place. There's great wildlife to view. And I mean, Outlander was filmed here. So it's the coolest. Our hotel on the first night was the Woodside in Doune. We were absolutely exhausted after traveling overnight and sightseeing all day. We arrived at the hotel a while before check-in, but they allowed us to go to our room early. We both crashed hard once we had cleaned up, so woke up early to go down for our breakfast, which was unexpectedly included in the room charge. Kevin had a full Scottish breakfast, while I could not resist the Eggs Benedict with a side of black pudding, of course. We would highly recommend this hotel. All the staff were outstanding. The room was spotless and stocked with tea, coffee, and plenty of snacks. The breakfast was delicious, with a full menu to choose from. We will definitely be back to stay there on future visits to Scotland.
After breakfast, we made our way to Dune Castle, about a mile away from our hotel. Many TV shows and movies have been filmed here, including Game of Thrones, Monty Python's Search for the Holy Grail, and of course Outlander. As a result, Dune has become one of the most popular castles in Scotland. Named after the Gaelic word for fort, Doune Castle was built in the 14th century for Robert Stewart, the son of King Robert II, grandson of Robert the Bruce. An audio tour of the castle, narrated by Outlander star Sam Heughan, which adds great historical context to empty rooms such as the Great Hall, Lord's Hall, and kitchen. But please turn off the audio track occasionally and just take in the history and majesty of this stunning castle, the architecture, the views in all directions, and the intricately carved chairs and tables in the rooms. Once you have toured the castle, do not miss out on taking the walk around the grounds. The woods and river are the perfect backdrop to the castle. About a mile-long hike, you will not be disappointed. After leaving Doune, we made our way north to our next hotel in Fort Augustus. It was while on this drive we realized that you cannot escape the incredible scenery that this part of the world has to offer. And that Scotland in December is very short hours of daylight, meaning that by the time we made it to our destination, it was dark. Join us on part 2 of our tour when we visit Fort Augustus, Oban, and Eilean Doune Castle.